Okay, so we are here with Carlos, who's our incredible mezcalero. We're so happy to have you here. It's very interesting. I feel like having you on our podcast because our podcast is about relationship and, sex life and all this, and we are in business together. And so I think first what we want to do is let you talk about who you are, what you do, why what you do is so special, and how you got into your position.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Erin. Thank you, Abe, for having me here. I think it's the first time that I'm gonna talk about this, like in a podcast, because I have a podcast also.
You do?
Yes, but we talk about mezcal, so we have to finish a bottle of mezcal during our podcast.
Stop it.
Well, I want to be invited.
Also, I want to do that on ours. We should
Yes,
at 9
yes. So
a.m.
we have
too
to
early.
finish a bottle of mezcal. So I'm Carlos Mendez. I'm from Oaxaca, Mexico. I'm the fourth generation of mezcal producers.
Amazing.
My dad, he was the third generation. He passed away 9 years ago. So I've been working ever since with my mother and my sisters. I have three sisters and one little brother. Well, not that little. He's over 30. But,
But he acts like the baby.
he acts
yeah, that's how it
like
is.
the baby. Yeah, yeah. And well, I was born and raised in Santiago Matatlan. It's a very small town, 8,000 people. So it's not a lot of things to do. There is not too much to do but work.
Right.
And that's how I learned how to make mezcal. I was born in the distillery. I was raised in the distillery.
Wow.
So since I was a kid, I wouldn't say like it was like child work or something like that. It's just like you grow up in a family business.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make it since you can do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's artisanal mezcal, so we still use a horse
Love it.
to make the milling. So when you're a kid, you're behind the horse, just scaring the horse so it goes around
How
and
fun.
does the
That's
work.
fun. It sounds fun.
It sounds fun. Maybe when you're a kid, it's not fun for a kid
Right.
because you want to go out and play
Yeah.
with the other kids. But you get used to it. And well, I grew up in Matatlan. I went to Tlacolula is like the biggest town next to Matatlan. So I went to middle school there, and then I went to high school in Oaxaca City.
Okay. So
Uh,
bigger high
In
school.
Central?
Yes, no, in Oaxaca Centro. It's near to Centro actually. It's not like Centro of Oaxaca, but when I was growing up in the business with my dad and with my mom, I had a really difficult relationship with my dad because, in town, coming from a mezcal family, being like this macho man, trying to show everyone that you are like the macho of the family, and trying to like being. I'm the second one. I have an older sister, so he was like, you have to be the macho,
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
I
So
grew up with a dad like that too. I get it.
yeah, so it put me in a really hard situation at that time, trying to hide my feelings and my whatever I like at that moment.
When did you know? And for those that don't know, do you want to tell them?
Oh, well, I think it's nothing I'll say when I introduce myself to anyone, like,
Right.
hi, I'm Carlos and I'm gay.
Right.
It's because it's not, I'm proud of who I am.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And my mom is too. But she had a really, really hard moment understanding it. So she still deals with it. I come from a Christian family.
Mm-hmm.
I have two uncles that are priests. So you see, it was a lot of pressure for my mom and for me and for my family. And we are close to all my relatives, my family, but they were always like pointing like, you have to be like a priest. And my mom was like, maybe one day you'll be a priest.
Wow.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, mom, if you only knew.
Yeah, she knows now, and she's okay, but she still she's not maybe that's the part she's not proud of.
Oh, I bet she is. She might not understand it.
Do you think that it's changed since you were younger? And because I mean, in America, it's changed over the past 20 years. The culture, where now it's just it's not a thing. It's normal. And so I know that because we talk about this a lot in mezcal as an industry, it's very macho, machismo, masculine dominated.
Especially in mezcal, more than tequila, right?
Yes.
Do you see that having changed over the past?
You're going to change it. You
It's
are
been
the
changing.
change.
It's been changing, and maybe I don't know, like 10 years ago, you wouldn't see any mezcaleros like saying or accepting that they are gays, because I know like other mezcaleros that are the previous generation that they are living like a double life, and it's really hard because they are suffering. They are making more people to suffer because they are trying to show something they are not.
Right.
So that's something I didn't want to follow.
Wow.
And I think it put me in the situation that everyone is worried about what or who are your heritage, everything you're working for.
Who are you? Who?
Yeah.
Where you the heritage.
Oh, the heritage. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what like my mom was worried and my dad was worried.
And it didn't
They
do
were worried.
anything, right?
They no, they didn't. But it pushed me to be at the position where I'm today, to do things better,
Even better.
even better. Yes,
Right.
Like to have a brand, to work with brands that are well known in the industry.
Well, let's just say, just to pause there, because this is a good time for us to talk about how you approached us. We came to you, Abe and Chris came, I'm just going to give everybody the backstory, came down to Oaxaca, and they went with a personal guide that was bringing them to all the best mezcaleros and the best distilleries and this, that, and the other. They called me when they left yours, and they said, we found our guy. We don't have to look at it.
Well, we didn't. The guy didn't. The guy took us to all the other places, and we had talked before we got down to Oaxaca on Zoom. We talked a few times, and I'm like, I just want to go spend the day at Carlos's facility because I just felt the vibe. Andres and Alejandro introduced us.
Oh, that was from the lawyer. So Abe, just to give even more backstory, is Abe has been working with these Mexican attorneys, I guess, on the U.S. side for a lot of liquor brands. So that's how we got all into this. But anyway, I heard amazing things about you, and they were like thrilled and freaking out. And they're like, we found our guy. This is amazing. And it, like the facilities are so cool, and they have room to expand, and this is going to be amazing. And then you approached us, and you, like, such a forward thinker, because I don't think that typically happens, but you said, I see something here and I want to be a partner. So you're actually our partner in the mezcal business, which is amazing and something I don't think happens often, right?
Well, that's one of the things I want to do different, because my dad, he was a producer. He always worked for other brands.
Right.
He was delivering mezcal, and whenever they please, they will just go with someone else that is gonna give a cheaper price, or I just a different.
Right. They would just leave because it was.
Yes.
It's a competitive, and they're not thinking about the future.
Yes. So then I decided. So me and my family, we decided, like, let's work with people that wants to make us part of the brand.
Right.
So I was really interested, and I told Abe, like, I really love this project. I love the brand. I love everything that you're already doing. And I would like to be part of it, not just as a supplier, because you can change supplier anytime.
Right.
As part of the brand.
Very smart.
And we were happy because now it's like our interests are aligned and it's just closer together, and there's more synergies between. I mean, you and your team are actually literally making the product that we get to sell here. So it's a true partnership in that way. I'm curious your thoughts, actually, shifting gears a little bit. There's a lot of, we've seen a lot of comments online or feedback about the idea that, Americanizing.
Oh, this is a great question.
Mezcal, right? Like, or tequila, and how it's like, oh, the Americans coming in and just taking advantage and selling, a Mexican product, branding it as an American type of product. What, like, is that the consensus down there in Oaxaca? Like, how do you guys feel about that? And I'm like, your unbiased thoughts. I'm very curious.
Yeah. So yes, that's the feeling, like everyone has before they meet someone that interested in working with them. So then they are in the other side, because no one is fighting against the money, because it's a business too.
Right.
So we're trying to make business, and I think it's been changing a lot recently, especially since mezcal is
Growing.
turning more popular in the U.S. U.S. Takes 80% of the production.
Wow.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's 60% of the production, of the national production, and the rest
That's a
lives
lot
in
still.
Mexico. Yeah,
Well, mezcal used to be like a Mexican person's favorite drink. Like I feel like Mexicans don't really drink tequila.
actually, it's a big story. It's a very big, long story. But mezcal was more related to poor people in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, like 15 years ago.
Why?
There is it was on TV on the 80s about these bandidos stealing a lot of, I don't know what product it was, but then they said, oh, I think we can sell it as mezcal. And they bottled it and
Oh my
sold it
God.
as mezcal, and people went blind. So it was on the national news, like, oh, the people drinking mezcal is going blind.
Oh my
So then
God.
the mezcal industry just broke.
Wow. This was in
nobody
the
wanted-
80s?
Yes,
So mezcal was maybe on its way up and then
Yes.
it crashed?
it crashed.
Wow. I did not know that.
And
And it took like 40 years to recover the prestige. And there are brands, I don't know if I can mention brands, but there are...
There's only one brand. Only one
Only one
brand. No, of course you can.
Yeah, but especially like one of the first brands that you started to see growing in Mexico City was... I forgot the name. Alipus, Danzantes.
Yeah, sure.
It's not in the U.S. That's one of the first and biggest brands.
They have a restaurant in Oaxaca, right?
They have a restaurant in Oaxaca,
Yeah.
Mexico City. They're big.
I think did we go there?
No, we didn't. We didn't get
The
a
other
table.
one. That were like,
Yeah. You have to
it was
book like
it's
2 weeks.
crazy that
Yes.
Oaxaca to get a table somewhere. It's
Yeah.
obscene.
Yes, and also there is a guy that started a brand very famous called Vida.
Yeah, I
He's
know Vida.
from
I like Vida.
He's from California, I think.
Oh, he is.
He sold it. It was the first brand.
Pernod
To sell
Ricard.
to
I think
Oh,
that was it.
really?
Yeah. So
I
that's
didn't know
how
they sold.
mezcal recovered its prestige, and especially because people from the U.S. was starting to go to Oaxaca and bring bottles from
Got
Oaxaca and starting to sell it to their friends or just friends. Like they like to go to Oaxaca for food and mezcal, and friends were asking like, bring some bottles for me. Or for my
I honestly
family.
can't drink tequila anymore. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't
I
either.
can't drink it. Like, it just
There's
tastes
a
like
taste in there. There's
it's
one
just
note.
not. I want to hear from you what you think the different, like, give me the biggest difference between mezcal and tequila and why it's so much better. Because I have my thoughts, but I
the
need to hear
process.
the process.
Yeah, totally is the process. I think mezcal is we're still trying to prevent to turn like tequila
To be too commercialized. I know.
to commercialize.
I hope we never get there.
Yes,
We won't.
because what tequila did was to industrialize the process.
Yep.
And most of the tequilas, especially like big brands, they will produce like a neutral spirit,
Yep.
and then just add flavors.
So that's what
Big
I want to talk
lawsuit
about
now.
too.
Diageo's getting
I know
sued.
Diageo's
Yeah.
getting sued.
Casamigos, Don Julio.
But
Yeah.
why is that by Mexican law, tequila only has to be 51% pure and mezcal has to be 100% pure? Is that also because of the process?
The regulation for tequila, they have two different, I don't know how they call it, but you can make 100% agave or 51 and 5149
Right.
for tequila. When the regulation for mezcal started in 1994, the NOM, but it really started on, I think it was like on 2000 and something, I don't remember, but it was just a copy of the tequila NOM.
Okay.
And then on 2016, we just didn't feel comfortable
Good.
Because mezcal is not tequila, so we have to have a nom that really fits the mezcal. So we
Yep.
change it. So we don't make the mixto like tequila call it. We just make 100%
And
agave.
that's by law.
That's by law. We change it. So
Right.
so
The
by law
changed. Amazing.
yeah. So by law you can only do 100% agave, but you can use other varieties. In tequila, you can only
Right.
use one variety,
Right.
and you can use other sugar sources.
But the beauty of using the other varieties with mezcal is the flavor.
The flavor.
It's like a blend of red wine. It's actually really interesting.
Yes.
Like I think our flavor is so different than most flavors. Also, I want to understand from you because I'm curious. Like when we blended and we added the quiche, it changed the smoke level and it felt less smoky. Like I think our mezcal really can replicate a really high-end, good 100% pure tequila, right? That an American would know. Because it's very palatable. It's not very smoky. Why is it that ours is less smoky because of the quiche?
Because of the quiche, so any of the wild varieties
Because it's
will
wild?
reduce the smoky notes.
Got it.
The espadín is the one that has the highest level of the smoky note.
Got
But
it.
when you add a wild variety, it covers it, and that it can
Unbelievable.
also disappear. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
One of my favorite processes was when we were figuring out the blend. We're like, okay, let's try. And you explained to me too. I think you really want it to be over 43% ABV because you start losing the notes. And I noticed it.
Yeah,
You know,
we
if you have
did. I remember
40%, it tastes like just water almost.
And I wanted to do 40% because a lot of our emphasis is on, we don't want our brand to be a let's get fucked up type of brand. I mean, you can get fucked up. Please order
well,
more.
especially
mezcal.
on Carlos's podcast.
Yeah, on your podcast. But somehow I don't get that messed up when I drink mezcal because it's so clean. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, I wanted it to be like a real sipping mezcal. So I'm like, let's go 40%. But it completely killed the flavor.
Yeah.
So we had to do the 44. Interesting.
Yeah, so but the profile, is not a secret because there is no there are no other things but agave and water and the wild yeast.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have a hidden recipe somewhere. It's just the process. So every batch, and I when we first talk, I told you like every batch is gonna be unique.
Yep.
Because it's gonna depend of the region of the agave, where the agave is coming from, the water source, the weather.
Right.
So
It's really
every
purely
batch
organic.
is gonna be a little bit different, and maybe sometimes you will get more fruity notes and sometimes more mineral notes.
Right.
That's what I love about it, though, is that it's you have the marker on the back, with the lot number and the batch.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure we save
I
for
was
each
just
lot.
thinking that.
Because
And
it'd be
also,
interesting,
you're like,
in a
Yes.
year, 2 years to try the different batches.
And I mean, I can't wait to make new blends. But the beauty of all of this is that your product is the true organic product. Like this is what actually organic means, where you process it on site. You're using wild yeast. You're using wild agave. You're making it literally by a horse's movement. Like it's true organic product. And that doesn't really exist often anymore in this world that we live in. It's refreshing.
Yes, in Oaxaca. So we have 2 distilleries because I've been working with other brands that they are growing. So we are replacing because of this movement about animal suffering. So I had people visiting and they were like, "Poor horse, don't make it work." Things like that.
The horse is going to be out of a job, though. You're gonna make the horse homeless.
Yeah, but we have also a different facility where we don't use horses.
Okay.
We still use the taona, so it's crushed by the stone.
You have that machine, like
But
the wheel.
we have
thing,
the
right?
machine. Yeah. So
The new facility, the facility is incredible. The newest one.
yes,
Does it excite you when you open a new facility?
it does a lot, and I think like I live in Matatlan, but I also have a house in Centro, so I'm like 3 or 4 days in Matatlan and other days in Centro. But whenever I walk, I'm walking from my house to the distillery, like 2 blocks,
That's so
3
nice.
blocks, and I feel the admiration from the people in town. Like they want to visit the city. They want to. They
They're
ask me
proud
like,
of it.
how do you do? How do you make it to have your clients? So one of the things, and maybe it's gonna take me back to where we began, is that I didn't want to be in the mezcal industry. I didn't want to be in Matatlan or in Oaxaca because of trying to hide my identity. I wanted to
Wow.
get out of Mexico. So when I was 17, about to turn 18, I got an student visa, and I came. So my mom sent me with my uncle, one of my uncles that is a priest, to California. But I wanted to learn English and maybe get a job and just don't go back. So English learning English was one of the things that also helped me a lot to get clients. One of my first clients.
Seems like your identity is what created all of your
Yes,
blessings.
and then
Oh.
it took me back to Oaxaca, and I always dreamed to be a pilot.
Wow.
And my mom, I know, well, I love her, she loves me, and I told her like, I want to be a pilot, and she was like, okay, if that's your dream, let's pray, so you will be a pilot. And my uncle, he helped me because he paid my school in Mexico, my pilot school.
Wow.
But when I finished on 2011, actually, the aviation industry in Mexico was like broken. It was really complicated, so it was really hard to find a job in Mexico. So then
Did you get your license?
I did.
That's cool.
You can
It-
fly a
it-
plane now?
Yes, it's expired, so maybe not, but I can like revalidate my license, and well, that's how I went back to mezcal, but with a new vision, trying to make something different, and like giving me the opportunity to show that I'm being gay is not impossible to be also a mezcalero.
Let me ask you, because we're big supporters of LGBTQ community. We actually had a pride party last year. If we had known, we would have flown you in for it. We had a great, really
Yeah,
awesome
I didn't
pride
know
party.
until I didn't know that you were gay until somewhat recently. So was
I
like,
think
oh.
because I posted something about a talk with.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I forget what it was, but it's exactly that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. It's,
So do people come to you and talk to you and ask you for advice, like younger people? Like, I'm sure there are a lot of suppressed, gay people in your community that don't know where to go. Or, I mean, you must be, if people know, you must be a guiding light for a lot of people. So,
Yes, it happens to me, especially in Matatlan. Like for advice or for people that is just or guys that are like, oh, I can stand anymore my father or my mother.
yeah.
I'm like, just work, show them. I think one of the things that make them being like this with the gay guys in Matatlan or any town in Oaxaca is because they are afraid of you suffering.
Like their parents?
The parents,
Yeah.
they're afraid of you suffering or being weak.
Right.
so not as much they have a judgment. It's more so that they're worried about
Yes.
you as their kid.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, yeah, I think that happens a lot. But so have you ever been in situations where because you're gay, people treat you differently at work, or has that ever happened to you?
Especially with mezcaleros.
Really?
Yes.
Other mezcaleros?
Other mezcaleros. But
Even
you-
still,
yes,
Wow.
even still,
What,
like,
like they're just
they'll say,
assholes?
"Oh, I hate that," I hate that I don't know why he's like they will even picture it as a devil,
No.
something devil,
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, but I'm like,
You strong.
Yeah.
You seem really strong. See, I think a lot of people, maybe depending on how they grew up, or like it seems like you have a very strong family unit. You have sisters, you have a mom, and everybody seems very confident. But some people, if they don't have that, it's harder to come out. Like it's scarier because who are they going to fall back on? So
yes. Yes, that's the true in town.
Yeah.
Your mom, just so everybody's a visual. She's
She's a
very
boss.
petite lady, but I would not fuck with her.
No.
She seems
Is she
such a
like,
boss.
is she tough
She
at
is.
work? Yeah, I could see it.
She
Oh, I
is.
could totally
I love
see
it.
Do you guys work closely together on same projects? Because I know you guys run the facilities together, but is it
No,
overlap?
actually, today my mom does more like she cares about the house and she likes the fields, so she's
Right.
more about checking the fields, and she likes to travel too. So I let her travel. So she goes visit her family in California.
Oh, nice.
Because she's still her youngest brother, her little brother. There are three, so they are very close. So he's a priest. So he's like, you have to go to Guatemala to this like Christian event, and now you have to come to California because we're having this event. So
She's running around.
yeah.
Also, one thing that really attracted me to your facility is that you have, I think it's like over 50% female workers, right?
Yeah.
Was that a decision or was that natural?
That was natural. Actually, most of the bottling facilities, because we have a big bottling team. I think it's bigger than the production team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have more women working at the bottling facility. And
I love that.
especially because bottling, it's everything by hand.
Right.
So labeling by hand, sealing by hand, doing everything by hand, it requires a lot of people, and especially women that are more like
Like they have
Yeah.
more finesse.
yeah.
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 That makes sense.
I mean, I have to admit, the labels are put on perfectly. I thought it was a machine.
I did too. I didn't realize that.
No, it was by hand.
Unbelievable.
That's even more handmade.
Yeah,
That's so
everything.
funny. Do you watch the show? Do you watch any of the Housewives show?
I haven't. Well,
Don't-
Don't,
see,
don't
uh,
bother.
Don't bother, but there's a very funny thing. They took it out of context, of course, but it was, Aaron Leachy brought mezcal to America. Have you heard this?
oh, I saw it. And people were like, I don't know.
Don't tell me people reached out to you
Yes,
about it.
yes.
Stop. What did they
People-
say?
Wait,
Like-
down in Oaxaca, you mean?
Yeah, on social media.
What did
on
they
Instagram.
say? Wait, what did they say?
And like, how can you work with people that is trying to? I don't know, just
Yeah, that's the
strong
comments.
hate. You
It's
know?
probably like people like Americans that saw the show or DMing you.
One of the biggest texts, it was from I think he's a Latin guy that lives in New York.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Yeah, these are the comments that I was
he
talking
was like-
about, where we're like,
what is she giving back to the community? How is there a fair trade and
And so can we tell the people, please, about the fair trade and how we
Oh,
give
yes.
back and how everybody has like a small piece of the business in the factory? Can you please explain it so that these people can calm down?
since you're buying a bottle of mezcal, and I don't mean it only about us, but a bottle of mezcal from Oaxaca, you are helping the community because there are no other sources. So you can sell mezcal. There is a coffee industry that is growing a lot, and the tourism, but people has to go there.
Right.
So see, if you're buying a bottle of mezcal from Oaxaca, you are helping the communities.
Right. You're helping the community. You're helping people that need jobs. You're growing the industry. You're growing business. And it's not like we're, as a business, not celebrating Oaxaca and not celebrating the culture and what you guys do. I mean, here you are on our podcast. We're so collaborative, but we really want to bring the spirit of mezcal and what it embodies to America. I had to. All right. Well, I think we're almost out of time. Is there anything
yeah.
else?
I have one question. I know you were working on a nonprofit organization. How's that going? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
We're still working on it. We're working on the permits. It's really complicated to get a nonprofit organization in Mexico. The
In the
regulations
States
turn
too.
really complicated. So we're still working on it, and so we are a point of a help point in Matatlan where woman can ask for help, or the LGBT community can ask for help. So we have actually at the bottling plant we have most of the staff is woman, but then also we have some gay guys working with us.
That's great.
And yeah.
I love that. You're like really, you're so young. You're going to do so much good in your life. Like it's really beautiful. Honestly, I'm so proud to work with you, really.
Thank you.
Me too.
And I want to get involved in the once you get it up and running in the nonprofit, we want to be involved. Really, we should contribute every sale of every bottle towards it.
That's what we were talking about when it gets set up.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'll let you know. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
But it's a rare. We live so far apart.
Yeah.
And now we're
And hopefully
here
you
together.
go to Oaxaca, so you will live
I'm coming.
the experience.
Now I'm not pregnant, so I can come finally for the
Yeah,
first
we
time.
do
in my
have
life.
to like soon.
We need to plan a trip.
Make a
Yeah.
trip down there.
I mean, the main goal is one day we sell enough mezcal that we can actually buy a house, maybe build a house. You can help guide us. We can
She
bring our
wants to do
kids
it in
down. We
Puerto
really want to.
Escondido.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Puerto Escondido, like the kids can experience Mexican culture. It's our favorite. I mean, really, we are in love. So, thank you so much for coming together. Do we do it?
Thanks for
Coming together.
Yes.
Woo!
It's a work in progress.